All right. Yep. Like I said, we'll get started in a couple of minutes, and feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Hi, Todd. Hi, Karen. Really exciting news, Christina. I got an email today from Kristen at Lynnhaven River Now, and she was like, hey, we have an intern with us that I want to join the call today, and it's Kaden Ishmael from the Environmental Science Program at the Brock Center. I know. I was like, we love her. Hi, Virginia.
Hey there.
Good to hear your voice.
Oh, well, thank you. And
see your beautiful face.
yes, I've got so many windows open. I'm moving my stuff from window to window. So I'm looking at you rather than off to the nether regions over here.
Sweet. It's 2:02 now, but I'm going to give everyone just another minute or two to join. And we are recording the meeting, and if you have just joined, please feel free to put your name and organization and contact information in the chat. We greatly appreciate it. We're excited today to have Joseph Barnes with us, who will be presenting today. And I guess what I can do while folks are joining, just to make it a little bit more lively, is we'll just do a quick round robin. Most of you all know each other, but if you just want to say your name and what organization you're with, and what is the last movie you saw? Virginia, start with you.
Oh, golly gee, Virginia Whitmer, Virginia Coastal Zone Management Program. The last movie, wow, it has been so long, I don't remember, to be honest.
That counts, right? No
that
worries.
Sounds kind of lame, but yeah, hey, the last thing I watched was The Secrets of Castles, and it's building a castle from the ground up with all of the medieval castle. Cool. With all the materials, the same techniques anybody that they did at the time, and that was really cool. So that was actually the last thing I watched on TV. So there we go.
I like that. All right, I'm gonna send it over to Abigail. Name, organization, and the last cool show or movie that you watched.
All right. Hi everybody. I'm Abigail, or Abby. You can call me either. I'm from VIMS and the Clean Marina program for Virginia. And the last movie I saw, I think, was Jurassic Park.
Nice. Awesome. How about you, Kristen? Or Karen?
Sorry, I lost the window it was open in. I'm Kristen with Lynnhaven River Now, and the last movie I saw was the new Mission Impossible. So not that long ago.
Sweet. Is Kaden there with you?
No, she is going to be joining, I believe, and so I was just checking with her to make sure she wasn't having any issues.
That's exciting. We love her so much. She led the charge on the Day Without Plastics video, so super excited to see her. Karen?
Hey, I'm Karen Brown, Plastic Litter Educationist Advocates. Last movie I saw was the Bob Dylan movie. It was really good.
Nice. How about you, Todd?
Todd Williams, Aspect Enterprises. The last movie I saw, wasn't really watching it, but sort of was the live action Snow White with my grandkids. Although I did see some of the Bob Dylan one on the plane recently, and I do want to finish that. That did look pretty cool, Karen.
Nice. How about you, Christina?
Hey, it's Christina with Clean Virginia Waterways. I could not tell you the last movie I saw, but the last movie I saw in a movie theater would have been Top Gun, like the new one, the old one.
Nice. I'm going to let you go ahead and go next, Joseph.
Hi everyone, I'm Joe at Old Dominion University. Last movie I saw, I think, was 28 Weeks Later.
I like that movie. Lindy, have you gone yet?
No, I haven't gone yet. I'm Lindy Durham from Keep Henrico Beautiful in Henrico County. I never go to the theater because I always have to take my grandsons and they talk the whole time. But I did see a beautiful National Geo show on the octopus this weekend. It was really cool.
Was it The Octopus Teacher?
Say again?
There's one called The Octopus Teacher that's a really cool film, but that's not a Natty Geo one, but that's really
No.
cool. Sweet.
No. This one
My
was a
niece-
surprise. I wanted to see Trooping the Colors, but I missed it. It was at 10:30 on Sunday morning. So I missed that one.
Gotcha. All right. How about you, Jamie?
Howdy, this is Jamie Gooden with Rock Ridge Conservation. I think the last movie I saw was that Bob Dylan movie, and I was very impressed. It was very low expectations, and I would recommend.
Nice. And let's see. Who else needs to go that I haven't called on? Please just chime in.
Josie, Prince Williamsville Waters Conservation District, water quality specialist. Recently at the house, I watched Cable Guy for the first time with Jim Carrey. So that was really good.
That movie's weak. Anybody else?
This is Kelly Atkinson with Piedmont Soil and Water Conservation District. I haven't seen a movie in a while, but I watched a show on Prime called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It was great.
Oh, yes. It's one of the best. It's so good.
Very cool. Anybody else?
Could I say something to Kristen real quick? If she's still there. Kristen, I just want to let you know I'm looking at your business card and you were on my list to call this week. I'm sorry it's been that long. Sorry.
No worries. Great. So, and I'm Tara Pascarosa with Clean Virginia Waterways. And my son loves like macabre horror movies, and we saw like the new Final Destination. It was horrifying. So that was my last one, not by choice, but great. So as other people join.
You muted, Tara.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody for that intro. We've got other people that are still joining, asking for admittance at times. Hi, Claudia. Glad you're here. Do you want to do a quick intro, your name, who you're with, and you can put it in the chat too.
Sure, yeah. Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm a little late. I'm Claudia Davis. I'm a field representative with Oceana.
And then we all said, what was the last like show or movie that we just saw?
Oh my gosh, what was the last show or movie I just saw? I didn't just watch it, but I am lately recommending the TV show Paradise to people.
Ooh,
like kind of like climate fiction, if you're interested.
I'll have to check that out. Cool. And if you haven't already, please share your name and your organization and your email in the chat. We are recording this call for any of you that just joined in. Welcome to the Virginia Plastic Pollution Prevention Network monthly meeting. We are all here to strategize and promote coordination with each other and collaboration among all of the groups that are working to reduce plastic pollution in Virginia. So we are glad you're here. Spread the word. If there are people that join a little bit late, just put your names and contact information in the chat, and we'll feel free to do an introduction as well. We sent out our newsletter recently, and that talks a lot about some of our newest members. We have 6 new members that join. We've got Aspect, Virginia Clean Cities, RWD, Waterkeepers Chesapeake, Rand Marine, and VCCA, the Virginia Clinicians for Climate Action. So while we're on the call, I'll always share like the link to officially join the VP3N, but I think everyone on this call is already a member. We are getting ready to hire some interns. We've got a couple prospects. We're excited about that, but I'll probably share that link too, because we still have some applications filtering in. We are always excited to share information from our partners in our newsletters and in real time and on social media. So continue to share all of that with us so we can share it with our social media channels and in our newsletter. We recently released a report called Coming Full Circle, which is a new report examining the future of recycling programs. So that's really exciting. I'll also share a link with that. And then we have a monthly Virginia plastic bag tax call that's happening the first Wednesday of each month. So our next call is July 2nd. I'm happy to share that information with you if you don't have it already. And the International Coastal Cleanup is officially underway, and we are going to be sharing all of the information on how you can join with Clean Virginia Waterways for the International Coastal Cleanup. Is there anything else you want to add about that, Christina? Because I know that's one of your babies.
Yeah, so we're actually today updating our 2025 site captain toolkit. So we'll be sending out an email this week to all of our previous site captains. Clean Virginia Waterways oversees the International Coastal Cleanup in Virginia, and we've been doing that since 1995. And we're excited. Kelly Atkinson on this call got to run it, I think, the last couple of years, and probably very relieved that she's not doing it this year. But it is part of the Ocean Conservancy's international effort. So we do collect data. We start the big push in late August and we go through the end of November. But honestly, you can use the Clean Swell app to collect data throughout the entire year. And that goes into the international database, and you can hop on the Tides website to actually look at data and run reports for your area, for your state, for your neighborhood, and see what kind of trash is being picked up. It's really great for outreach and education. And I think that's it. Yeah, so you'll be hearing from us soon with the updated toolkit and ordering supplies if you're going to be leading a cleanup. We're going to try to have t-shirts this year again. That was a Katie tradition, so we're going to try to do that again this year.
Awesome. Any
Looking for
questions?
sponsorships.
Yeah, always looking for sponsorship. Look out for that packet, and it's coming your way tomorrow, Christina. It's almost finished. Any questions about anything that I just mentioned? One other thing to note is we are going to be highlighting a partner every month in the VP3N newsletter. So our June partner of the month was Environment Virginia, Ellie Wilson-Bomer, and she has really been instrumental with a lot of the work that we've done in Virginia with Clean Virginia Waterways, and was very, very helpful in implementing the Richmond 5-cent plastic bag fee, which makes Richmond the 11th locality in Virginia to adopt that fee on plastic bags. So we just want to give a big shout out to her and all the hard work that she has done with Environment Virginia and other organizations. She's the state director of Environment Virginia, and she leads their work to protect air, water, and special places in the state. So we really want to give a big shout out to her. And she's not on here today, but we love you, Ellie. And she's here in spirit. So awesome. Without further ado, what I would like to do is introduce the amazing Joseph Barnes. He is the Marine Debris Project Coordinator at Old Dominion University. And Joseph works on initiatives to prevent, understand, and mitigate the marine debris issues in Virginia. He does this through coalition building, community outreach, and youth education. Joseph also coordinates multi-sectoral efforts to ensure that nonprofits and government agencies and businesses and academic institutions are all working together and sort of drawing on each other's expertise. His background is in marine debris, started with microplastic research at American University, and now it includes macro problems like abandoned vessels and derelict fishing gear removal. He's going to talk to us about a collaborative approach to implementing the marine debris reduction plan. And we love Joseph. We are very excited to have him today. And honestly, Joseph, you are so instrumental in the work that we all do. So we need 1,000 Josephs. Without further ado. Thank you, Joseph. Did you want to say anything either, Christina?
I second that. We love you, Joseph.
Thank you.
We're so glad you're already there.
Such uplifting topics as you're listing all of those debris problems out. But thank you for that introduction. You can tell I stole a lot of that language from the Virginia Marine Debris Reduction Plan. So I'm going to share my screen and go over a quick presentation. And this
Hey, Joseph, while you're doing that, do you mind if I just do one more quick intro while you're getting set up?
Yeah.
That'll give you a second. Kaden, I see that you joined the call. Do you want to do a quick intro?
Hi, yes, I'm Kaden. I was at the Virginia Marine Debris Summit as a student speaker, and I am also interning Miss Pullman over the summer to work with microplastics. So I'm excited about that.
Yay, it's so good to see you again. We love Kaden. She was instrumental in setting up a Day Without Plastics video contest with Clean Virginia Waterways, which is amazing. And so we're so excited that you're working with Lynnhaven River now. Grateful to have you. Thanks.
That's awesome. We love microplastics work. All right, that should be sharing.
Looks
Can we
great.
see the presentation? Okay, awesome. So, like I said, I'm the Marine Debris Project Coordinator at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. And over the last year, I've been working on this project called From Learning to Willing to Doing, a collaborative approach to implementing the Virginia Marine Debris Reduction Plan. And this is a National Sea Grant funded program, and the grant is actually ending next week. So this is a presentation to talk about what we accomplished in the last year, things that some of our lessons learned, takeaways, and things that we wish we had more time to do. So taking place at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, our geographic focus for the project is Portsmouth and Norfolk, Virginia. These two cities are bordered by the Elizabeth River and surrounded by the James River, the Lafayette River. All these rivers flow into the Chesapeake Bay and ultimately to the Atlantic Ocean. So this project to mitigate marine debris in this area really embodies that saying of think global, act local. Because any opportunity we have to mitigate marine debris in this area is going to prevent it from going into those larger global water bodies. The Virginia Marine Debris Reduction Plan was developed with extensive multi-sectoral stakeholder participation, which just means that anyone who needed to be involved in the planning of it was. It also means that implementing that statewide action plan at the local level requires that same whole of community approach. And so we have to involve businesses, state agencies, local nonprofits, civic leaders, and educational institutions. And you can see through our project team, we have people from Old Dominion University, people from Virginia Sea Grant, as well as people from our local nonprofits in the area and state agencies. But the title of the project, From Learning to Willing to Doing, refers to the process of engaging a community in a community-based social marketing campaign. The first step is to provide the public with education and to increase scientific literacy about the topic, in this case, marine debris. And once people are aware of and informed of the issue, then you can go on to direct engagement, things like coastal cleanups or teaching them how to recycle correctly at their own places of residence. Eventually, these direct actions will encompass such a broad and wide array of people in the community that becomes habitual and it becomes a large-scale behavioral change. So there are 4 objectives to this project. The first is to create a robust and diverse network in the area. Those are all those sectors that I was talking about, connecting all of them. Second is to increase literacy around marine debris topics. We also wanted to, being funded by Virginia Sea Grant, expand the Virginia Sea Grant capacity to include marine debris. And we also created an online hub to compile all of this network's resources around marine debris and act as a one-stop shop for these resources and actions. So we had 5 goals. This is a lot of text. You don't really have to worry about reading it. These just kind of summarize what each of these points mean. So the first goal was to hire a project coordinator. That's where I came in. The project coordinator liaised with the rest of the network and helped build it up. We also built an online community hub to act as that single clearinghouse for all those educational and action resources. We also wanted to focus on abandoned and derelict vessel and derelict fishing gear activities. And then we also wanted to target youth engagement. The idea with this project was if you can target the next generation to be conscious about plastic pollution, about litter, about marine debris, then you're raising a generation that's less likely to abandon a vessel or be more cautious in taking care of crab pots, for example. So I'm going to throw a bunch of colors at you now, but I'm going to go through each of these goals with our 4 objectives on the left, and you can see some of the actions we took for each goal that line up with those objectives. So the project coordinator, that's me, was meant to fulfill Virginia Sea Grant staffing capacity to expand their capacity into marine debris work. And again, I operate out of Old Dominion University. I also created the online hub, so I update that regularly. I contribute new content to it. I pull information, articles from other sources and put it up on that website. And again, I liaise between the network and help people get connected. The online community hub is a single clearinghouse. It is one website that lists as many resources as we can pack onto it for abandoned derelict vessel and derelict fishing gear activities, as well as just marine debris as a whole. And it links events from our partner organizations. And there are also sections on that website for every kind of sector that's involved in this project. So this is what the homepage looks like. We have tabs at the top. There are resources for youth education, mapping availabilities, advocacy work that's being done, and then actions that those different sectors can take. For abandoned and derelict vessel activities, we were supporting Coastal Zone Management, the Coastal Zone Management Program in their work, and helping to get the word out in the area about things like participatory mapping and a public ADV survey to report them. But a lot of our work in ADV came through the education and outreach. And so we went to conferences like the bottom left picture to talk about, to again, convene our network partners so that they can talk about what resources they have for ADVs. We also convened 32 stakeholders around the Elizabeth River to get them in a room. We did some presentations, talk about the issues that we're all facing, and then it was a roundtable for them to talk about the resources they have, the problems that they're facing, and help them break down the silos that we all work in. For derelict fishing gear activities, again, it focused mostly on education outreach. And so we've got a lot of information on our website. But we also had these polling stations we brought around to different tabling events and different public outreach events we would go to. And each of those jars was listed for abandoned derelict vessels, derelict fishing gear, or floating trash, which are 3 of the 4 components we focused on from the marine debris reduction plan. And people could vote, drop little fish feeds in to vote on what they're most concerned with. And so it was interesting to gather that data to find out what people are most concerned about in different geographic areas. And then for derelict fishing gear, one of my favorite activities we did was partner with the Old Dominion University archives. And we pulled out, for Earth Day, we pulled out a bunch of articles, props that they had in the archives at ODU that showcased the marine debris problem or pollutants and fishing activity in the area over the last few decades. And that was a really cool way to connect people directly to the topic. And then for youth education, we developed some lesson plans with our partners at ODU, nonprofit partners. We created a roundtable module to lead with youth groups, so high school and up, kind of. There are also character cards we created for a younger audience who may not have as much work experience to draw from when talking about marine debris. And we also went into school environmental clubs and kind of provided a mentorship opportunity to help them develop an action plan and guide them through it. And so again, this is the front page of the website. I can put the link to this website in the chat if you don't get this QR code in time, if you're interested. But again, there are many resources and actions for different sectors. Youth education took the form of art projects to make that connection between plastic you use every day and how it can easily become marine debris. We brought so many resources, handouts, art projects, that polling station, flyers, to table events around Hampton Roads. And then we developed lesson plans to go into classrooms and talk about marine debris. One of the best ways that we discovered to get the word out about marine debris is to tack on a marine debris component to already existing programs. And so, for example, this was Wetlands Watch's Catch the King event. It's a floodwater mapping, geographic mapping, community science event. We tied it into the International Coastal Cleanup through Clean Virginia Waterways and did a cleanup during the high tide, during and after the high tide, to really make that connection that floodwaters will put us into direct contact with marine debris. This is a way to reach an audience that is already existing and can learn about another interesting topic. Like I mentioned with the stakeholder roundtable, here are just more pictures of it. We had some speakers. There's Christina on the far left. And then we let people talk about the resources they had. And we developed a one-pager to send out to everyone, summarizing what resources everyone has. And then again, we had this network and we were able to just find events that were taking place and draw on other people's expertise to plug in gaps of what was missing, what people needed in those events. In the middle picture, for example, that's again, ODU Archives. And this was a screening of a movie called A Story of Plastic at the Narrow Cinema here in Norfolk. And using the network that we had, I was able to find 2 panelists. One of them, again, was Christina, because Clean Virginia Waterways is awesome. And we brought a bunch of table exhibitions out before the movie to, again, learn about marine debris, learn about the events that are happening, learn about the different organizations in the area. And then we have lesson plans on the left and conferences on the right. So this being a one-year project through this grant, there are some lessons learned that I wanted to share, as well as some gaps that we'd like to address had we had more time. And the first is that it's important to just listen to the community needs. So in our grant proposal, it's written in that we were going to address abandoned and derelict vessels and derelict fishing gear. But that wasn't always a concern in the communities that we worked in. It may have been a concern in other parts of the watershed, but not necessarily in Norfolk and Portsmouth. And so that's where the education component came in greater force. Had we had more time, we also could have found a way to get into spaces to focus on those issues, to find people that would have been concerned about them, like marinas or the fishing community. So that's just, we had more time, we could have found a way to get into the spaces that wanted to focus on those issues. And then with all projects, time and funding was an issue simply because the grant ran out, we used the money. So takeaways though, is that we did create a really good network in the area. And so post this project, there will be enough people connected, we'll have the website, so people will know each other and know who to contact to continue events, and marine debris work will definitely be continued in this area because of this network we've created. We also got to go where the public is. And so that over the last year took the form of going to community fairs and other social events to do those tabling exhibits. It was a way to reach a lot of people and hand out resources and let them ask direct questions and find out what people are really interested in. And then, as I mentioned, tacking on a marine debris component to an existing program worked really well. And that just kind of looked like being connected to this organization or to this event, finding out what's happening, and then offering some help. So going to their coordination meetings, helping to plan that event, working on cross-promotion for your own activity during that time, and working with organizations. You had a two-way street. These are all the organizations on the right that are involved in this project. Again, there's a QR code to the resource hub, but I'm actually going to shift tabs to show you this website. So this is the homepage of the Virginia Marine Debris Resource Hub. There's a picture of an ADV being hauled up picture of our project logo. And then right away, as it loads, is a call to sign up for a mailing list. So if people are interested, that's a good way to get new volunteers, or just send out emails for like new blog posts or something. There's information right away about what is marine debris. So right away, if you're not sure what this website's about, here it is. Click on this. This is a hyperlink to the marine debris reduction plan. And keep scrolling down, there's more buttons for each of the topics that are going to be addressed on this website. ADVs, DFG, advocacy, youth education, and the rest. Under these tabs, we have About Us. This is about the coalition, so you can learn about the organizations that are involved. You can learn about our goals, how this project came to be, and then other organizations that have joined since. Our mission is just a few bullet points about our goals that I went over in the presentation. Under Learn, this is where you learn about what marine debris is in general, especially how it pertains to Virginia. And so we've got some Clean Virginia Waterways linked videos in here, as well as some links to the reduction plan, trivia game that we created for the reduction plan. Talks about our project relating to goals 2 and 4 of the Virginia Marine Debris Reduction Plan. And then we use a lot of acronyms. I've been saying acronyms. And so if you don't know what those are, we listed them out. There are definitions. There are also specific pages to learn about what abandoned and derelict vessels are and what derelict fishing gear is. And those two were included in this website specifically just because, again, they were specifically written into this project's grant proposal. We also have an in the news section pulling from different news networks in the area if it talked about any sort of marine debris. And this is a very newly added page for repurposed and found art. And because it's important to learn about that too. Like, you don't have to always take up trash and put it back into the landfill. You can make art out of it. So we've linked to some local artists that do use recovered trash to make art out of. Under resources, youth education is first up, and these are resources from our nonprofit partners, some resources that we have created through the project at ODU, the roundtable module, the character cards, other lesson plans that we have created with in partnership with other people. And so you can click through here. These are things that are already established that can be taken, looked at, adapted for your own classroom or educational opportunity. Mapping tools are Mid-Atlantic based maps around ocean planning, essentially. So you could use it if you wanted to look at marine debris in relation to navigation pathways or migratory animal pathways. The advocacy page looks at what, again, more nonprofits are doing in the area. And I apologize for it being slow to load, but get the idea there. Success stories. This was created for full transparency because we wanted people to trust what people were doing, especially working out of an academic institution where we have that ivory tower. So this is a way to just list everything, every event that we did, talk about what the event was, what we accomplished, show pictures, and help people connect to it better. And then lastly, under resources, we have a blog. These are some blogs that other organizations posted that I just linked to, and some of them are about topics that we're focusing on or that were relevant to the area that I wrote. And other exciting things, under ACT, we have actions for all of these different sectors. And these are, again, resources taken from the network. So for example, actions for boaters, we have the Virginia Clean Marina program, their Clean Boater Guide is linked there. And if you are a member of any of those, which everyone is, because we all fall under one of these, including a community scientist or a resident, there's information on how you can get involved in marine debris from any kind of scope of work. And lastly, the event page is linked to a Google Calendar that, again, compiles events from all across Hampton Roads from our network partners. So with that, I'm just going to copy the link to put in the chat, and I will stop sharing and gladly take any questions.
Go ahead, Ms. Atkinson.
That was awesome. I really like your website. It's very thorough.
Thank you.
Your youth education activities, did you do anything in a classroom, like SOL aligned? Do you have any lessons like that?
Sort of. A lot of anything that was SOL aligned was already created through other nonprofits mostly. And so those are all linked to our website, and they have the curriculum standards listed. The ones that we created were in partnership with, for example, like PhD students at ODU. And so they were not necessarily aligned with educational standards because they were meant to go into the classroom to supplement a topic that was out of the curriculum for that teacher. So something that they wanted their students to be taught about, or just like a fun activity like the roundtable to be done that isn't in the curriculum but still provides really valuable insight into marine debris and like how to address it.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, what's going to happen to the website when you leave?
This website is actually being transferred over to Virginia Sea Grant. They're going to take ownership of it. It's been in the works for a couple months. It just takes a long time to transfer a website over to a different hosting agency. So when that happens, there'll be a little notification on this current link that will just direct you to the new one hosted by Virginia Sea Grant.
So it'll have a different domain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we use ArcHub right now, as in like ArcGIS products, which worked really well, and the university had access to it, which is why we used it. But as you can tell, it's very blocky. So Virginia Sea Grant will be able to make it look a lot smoother and a lot more cohesive seamless as a website.
Wonderful.
Joe, I'm trying to, I just did a Google search. I was a little lazy when you put the QR code up. I'm just trying to find that website. If I do a Google search for Virginia Marine Debris Resource Hub, and it's not coming up under just a Google search. Could you give me the web address again, or maybe that's on the newsletter with your bio and all that?
I just put it in the chat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just put it in the chat. So if you can grab it from there. I will say that has been a tricky point over the last year because it is like insular to ODU's ArcHub, where it still is a publicly available website. It just, Google doesn't like to pull that out of the ether.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it has been used mostly with our partners, and our partners distributing it and like directly rather than it being found organically. But that may change with Virginia Sea Grant's hosting capacities.
Okay, thank you. And so there's lesson plans up there, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. There are lesson plans on your website, right?
Yes, there are lesson plans linked to other organizations' websites. Any of the ones that we created are in a publicly available Google document that will pop up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen, I just recently populated his link again and labeled it the Virginia Marine Resource Hub. So
okay,
it should be
Thank
the
you.
last thing in the chat now. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Courtney just joined the call. Hi, Courtney. Thanks for joining. Any other folks have questions for Joseph? Joseph, I was also looking for your awesome website too. That's yours, the one that you have set up. I was going to share that link, but I didn't see it. Do you mind popping that in the chat?
Which one?
I'll try to find it. It was the one that like had all the stuff that you've done. I'll look for it and see. No worries. Let's see. Any other questions?
Oh, I do have one more point just for bragging rights. Over the course of the year, we did 35 events. We reached 2,076 people. And we created a network of around 80 people across 35 organizations. So we got a good network down here in Hampton Roads / Virginia.
Woohoo! Love that.
Did you
Yeah.
say that this was just a grant and you're leaving? I kind of missed that piece. So
That is correct. Yeah,
Okay.
it was funded through Sea Grant. It was a 2-year grant. I came in a year in, and so it's wrapping up.
really cool. Good job.
And Joe, is your contact information is also in the newsletter, or where, or maybe through the website? How can?
It is on the website. I'll put it here in the chat as well.
Okay, thank you.
If you contact me at my ODU email address, I can give you my personal email address for after I leave.
Okay, thank you so much.
Joe's
Joe,
a good one to know. Go ahead, Christina. Sorry.
this morning you presented this at the Mid-Atlantic meeting, and we talked a little bit about the importance of forming partnerships and working with other organizations, and you know, how that really furthers your mission and your goals. Can you touch on that a little bit, like how that affected your success in this project?
Yeah. So when I moved to Norfolk just for this job, so I knew no one. And starting with my team at ODU, including the nonprofit partners who had signed on, I met them. They had contacts, so that was a really easy way to start reaching out to people. We had some people, like, we knew of some people who sat on coordinating calls for other events that I reached out to and was like, hey, this is a new project we're starting up. Can I join? Do you need help? Can we do a marine debris component to it at all? And so that's what I was talking about earlier with, like, it's a 2-week streak. Like, I had to help them, then we could cross promote. They helped me do an event simultaneously. And it was also just looking up things in the area. Like, when we were trying to do our first cleanup, I was looking up if anyone like did that, how to do that. And I found Keep Norfolk Beautiful actually had their sponsorship program, and they had supplies. You just had to take a short training. And I was like, oh, well, again, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm not going to like get my own cleanup supplies and start advertising that we're doing cleanups when this organization's already here. We'll just promote them. And so I got all the cleanups from either Christina for the International Coastal Cleanup, Clean Virginia Waterways, or from Keep Norfolk Beautiful. And yeah, I was just reaching out at the beginning to be like, hey, can we grab coffee? Let's talk about our projects, and we can see if they align in any way and keep a dialogue going. But as we got connected to more and more people, it definitely became a case of, oh, you're doing an event. I know someone who has an area, that expertise that you might be missing. Do you want me to put you in touch with them? And helping spark those conversations. So my job became a liaison between all these different organizations. Yeah, and it helps to break down those barriers that we all work in. It's tricky because a lot of people do work on grants, and you have to abide by those very specific grant deliverables. But if you can co-manage those grant deliverables, then you can get a lot more accomplished.
Yeah, you definitely did an amazing job. And I think too, it grew organically too, because you were going out there and meeting everyone and doing all the things. So again, kudos to Joe for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a really good word. Like, it did grow organically just by meeting people and then just having open dialogues, which was ironic that I could do that as such an introvert, but I did it. And my job is talking to people now.
We love that. Well, you're good at it. So keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Great. Any other questions or comments about Joe's presentation? Sweet. So what we like to do at this portion when we have a little bit of extra time is just see if there's any announcements from our partners. And I'll also hand it over to Christina, the Director of Clean Virginia Waterways, to see if there's any announcements she would like to make. So it's an open floor for those of you on the call to share any events coming up, questions you might have, anything like that. So please dive right in or ask Joseph another awesome question.
I think I covered my announcement with the ICC. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to just say that July 12th, we're having our next monthly cleanup. And so we're going to be at Lake Lawson, Lake Smith, off of Northampton Boulevard. So we'll be launching, which is, if you're not familiar, it's Norfolk's water, but it's VB's land. And so we got permission to access the water because the water itself has not been cleaned. And so if you have a kayak or a canoe and want to come out, we need as many people in the water as possible. If you want to be on land, you're welcome as well, but we definitely need as many people. It's a big lake to cover.
Thanks, Kristen. Do you want to put a little link in the chat about that in case people want to check? Is it on Facebook or anything like that?
I'll put the sign up link.
Thank you. I love that area over there too, Kristen. It's so beautiful. They have some really amazing hiking trails in that neck of the woods as well. And there's a really cool butterfly artwork project in the woods there as you're hiking. They've like created all these really cool pieces of artwork with butterflies. So let's see. Any other announcements, folks? Anything happening and with Oceana or any other groups that wanted to share information? Christina, go ahead.
Joe, can you talk about your microplastics webinars, past and present and future? Because I think you can watch any and all of them that have already happened, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm taking off my ODU hat now. That's my full-time job. I also have a fellowship with the Mid-Atlantic Regional Council on the Ocean as their marine debris fellow. And I've been working on a series of microplastics webinars for the Mid-Atlantic region. So the idea is to find researchers in the area who are doing important work on topics that the Mid-Atlantic Work Group wanted to hear about around microplastics, and provide them a platform to talk about their research and how it applies to the greater Mid-Atlantic region. So it's meant for an audience of state employees or civic leaders, educators, like people who are already familiar with the topic. We just had our third one last Monday, and it was about microplastics impacts on the habitats and species that they come across. The first one was about microfibers specifically and how microplastics are flowing through the Mid-Atlantic waterways. The second one was on how they're moving up the marine food chain, so what's eating them. The third one, again, was about now we know where they're going and what they're interacting with, what are they doing to those habitats and species. And our fourth one and last one will be late July or mid-August, and it's going to be about extended producer responsibility schemes and kind of what that means for businesses and for advocacy groups. I can look for the link and I'll put that in the chat as well. All of the webinars are recorded, so you can go back and watch them.
Thank you, Joe.
Great. Any other questions or comments or for the good of the order?
Yes, I just have like a general question. And this might sound silly, but these links, so we have just started a nonprofit, Plastic Litter Education Advocates, and we're about to go public with socials and that sort of thing. And we want to share lesson plans for teachers and homeschool, parents and such, to, provide for the students. Are these resources that we can put on our socials, for example, like the webinars you were just talking about, Joe? Could I put links to that on our Facebook and whatnot for teachers and homeschool parents?
Yeah, definitely. These links are definitely meant to be shared. They are, again, publicly available,
Okay.
either through other organizations or through publicly
So there's
available sheets. So yeah. they're meant to
okay,
be
thanks. So there's no propriety on these educational materials. I don't need to worry about stepping on anyone's toes, right? We can
No,
just share
and
links.
if they
Okay.
were created in-house at my project, they have our names on it. So
Okay, great.
we're good.
Thank you.
Anything else? Awesome. Well, this has been great, y'all. We're super excited that you were able to share your presentation with all of us, Joseph. And if anyone wants to share any other links, I see folks are popping stuff in there in the chat. Feel free to do that towards the end of the call. And if there aren't any other questions or announcements, I can give everybody 9 minutes of their life back.
Yeah, thank you for having me here today, Tara.
Oh, you're so welcome. We love you. We really
Um,
appreciate you and all the hard work you've done.
Yeah, as a personal update, I'm going to be consulting with Clean Virginia Waterways this summer, so I will still be here.
Yay! I know, we're super excited about that. I was waiting for you or Christina to say something. So welcome to the team. All right. Oh, Karen, that's really sweet. She said everything VP3N touches turns to gold. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Take
Thank you.
care. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Tara.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.